Okay. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our short video here with Rocky Mountaineer. And I'm Rob Blows, Vice President of Blows Stewart Travel, and I'm in Stratford today. And I have joining me today Ali from Rocky Mountaineer. He's our Business Development Manager for Western Ontario. So he deals with our office here in the Stratford area, but certainly helps all of our agents all over Ontario. So when we have questions about Rocky Mountaineer that we can't answer, which are not many because we're well trained, they keep us well trained, but we would turn to Ali and he would give us a hand and help us out. So today we're just gonna have a little question and answer session and just to give everybody some updates on what's going on with Rocky Mountaineer and why you should consider Rocky Mountaineer vacation for your next vacation in 2021 and beyond, perhaps as well. So welcome, Ali. Thank you very much for taking a few moments of your time today to join us. And certainly I'll let you introduce yourself and your background and we'll get into some questions.
Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate it. My name is Ali. I'm the BDM for Western Ontario, like Rob had mentioned. I've been with Rocky Mountaineer now since February of 2020, but I've spent the last 9 years in the travel industry. So I'm very familiar with travel as well as Rocky Mountaineer. Again, I manage all relationships from middle of Toronto out to Western Ontario. However, I do manage the Blows and Stewart travel group across the country. So even those offices that are in Peterborough or outside of Toronto.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. So I just wanted to touch on a few things, Ali. Obviously, 2020 is write off for Rocky Mountaineer didn't even operate in 2020 if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately, and so we're going to look not in the rear view mirror but look forward and talk about we've noticed here in our office obviously the phone calls we're getting from clients is they're interested in domestic traveling within Canada. Obviously your company's got the perfect product for that, and not just on the rail but on the land, like your tours and whatnot. So perhaps you can touch on sort of what our bookings look like for 2021 and give people an idea, what should we be looking for as far as advanced purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really great question, actually. We've been noticing that there's a marked increase in demand for domestic product. Again, we have really great relationships with small businesses, tour operators, hotels, all through Western Canada. And like you had mentioned, it's been a little bit of a bittersweet year. It was our 30th year anniversary as far as an organization goes, but we've had to suspend all operations just because of the restrictions in place. So all the people that were booked with us to travel this year, and we're having a record-breaking year this year, and haven't been able to travel are now rebooking into 2021. We also have anybody else that wasn't booked with Rocky Mountaineer, but looking to travel to Western Canada and the Rocky Mountains that haven't been able to travel, rebooking into 2021. Along with that, we have all the people that just hadn't made arrangements to travel and were interested in traveling. Now they're looking at staying closer to home, and they're looking at domestic product. And Western Canada is absolutely gorgeous. The scenery in the Rocky Mountains is really unparalleled. And there's a huge demand there from all those people that hadn't even made arrangements looking to book into 2021. So when you couple in all these factors, our suppliers and hotel partners have seen a dramatic increase in their pricing just for the new travel season, just with all this demand that's going out into place. Rocky Mountaineer, we've kept our rail pricing flat for not only 2021, but for 2022. So even taking out inflationary numbers, we're committed to keeping our product price the same as it was in 2020. And we've actually gone back out to the market to our best suppliers as well as hotel partners to see what we can do to get the best rate out to guests for hotels and destination. Just with everything going on and the uncertainty in the marketplace, people don't want to commit to going overseas. We have universal health care here, thankfully. And if for some reason anybody needs care, we want to know that as a Canadian, I'm saying that we as an organization, but we as Canadians, we want to know that we're going to be taken care of to a standard that we're used to, as well as not potentially be out of pocket for costs. So huge demand increase for domestic travel, and we've seen that across the board from our tour partners to through Rocky Mountaineer itself, as well as our hotel partners. So I always encourage people, if you're interested in traveling, with everything being flexible now, the sooner you book is the better option.
Right, right. I know that we had a few, several clients booked for 2020 that, when tours were suspended, they immediately just said, well, book me next year. So I know that when I went to do that for a couple of people, I actually had difficulty getting space on certain dates. So there is heavy bookings on certain dates and departures for 2021. So, I can just tell from my personal experience to tell people, if you're thinking about booking, don't wait till June, because you won't get it, because it's the demand is definitely there. And again, because there's just so much built up demand from those suspended bookings, as well as just people that just want to stay within Canada. So thanks for that update. So that's very good. Now, a couple of new things. You had a release a couple of weeks ago of a new product that Rocky Mountaineer is offering. It's not in Canada, but it's a rail product. So maybe you just want to touch on that a little bit, because that's kind of exciting for people that may have done Rocky Mountaineer several times and are looking for that experience, but show me something new.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it was always in the plans to expand product. We were initially looking at 2022 to release this brand new route in the United States. But with everything going on this year, we figured now is probably the best time of any, because we're able to dedicate immense amount of resources internally to it. And just as of 2 weeks ago to the day, we launched the announcement to our Rockies to Red Rocks, which is a phenomenal route from Denver to Glenwood Springs, which is a very hot springs resort area town in Western Colorado, and then into Moab, Utah, where you get these really beautiful clay formation rocks, just really stunning scenery. It took a long time for Rocky Mountaineer to decide on where exactly we're going to put together a new route. We've looked at Europe and Asia and Australia and New Zealand, and we wanted to make sure that any new route that we provide, it captures the essence of what Rocky Mountaineer wants to provide. And that in and of itself is providing an extraordinary journey. And we really feel that this route captures the same majesty that our Canadian route does. So it's going to be a little bit of a shortened season next year. We're operating from August to October. And we're operating 2 lines of service. We're operating our Silverleaf as well as Silverleaf Plus. There's no Gold Leaf available on the Rockies to Red Rocks, simply because the tunnels there are so old. Our Gold Leaf car actually won't fit in there. So the Silverleaf experience is going to be very enhanced on this US route. And there's a ton of flexibility right now. Anybody that's interested in booking into 2021 is able to do so with a fully refundable $25 deposit. And then a 20% deposit would be due by January 31st. And that's refundable for 60 days as part of our enhanced flexibility. So anybody that's interested in doing the Rockies to Red Rocks, it is immensely popular. We've already sold out about 10% of our seats, and it's only been live for about 2 weeks. So we just see that demand growing day by day.
Excellent. Now, you did touch on some of your flexible booking and cancel policies specifically for that route, but can you expand a bit on that on as far as on your Canadian product that what those policies might be?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, with everything going on, there's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace and in travel. People have that travel itch, but the last thing you want to do is book a trip and have to cancel it or just worry about even just getting your money back. So knowing what's going on in the marketplace and just wanting to be sure that we're in line with people's expectations, we've updated our terms and conditions to allow for more flexibility. So anybody that is now putting down a deposit for a new booking into 2021, you have 60 days to cancel and get a full refund of your deposit. If you feel that you booked in January and come March, you're just not comfortable with traveling, no problems there. You can go ahead and cancel and get your deposit back. If after that 60 days passes by and you are still uncertain of whether or not you wish to travel, we're allowing guests to change their date twice with no penalty. And you can change your date to later in 2021. You can change your date to 2022. And the team's even doing up to 2023. So there's plenty of opportunity and plenty of flexibility as long as you change your date more than 60 days prior to be able to have that peace of mind, knowing that you can book your travel and potentially cancel it if you wish, or change your date if you're just unsure of whether or not you feel safe with the travel arrangements.
Well, that's certainly super flexible. And now, when you do the date change, do you need to change it to the exact same product you had on a different date, or can you just change it to a different route, for example?
Yeah, that's a great question. And some people may feel that a specific region may not necessarily be right for them. We don't want to limit anybody's ability to experience Western Canada. So if anybody has any other route that they want to change, we're not going to hamper them with booking the exact same route. If there is a price difference, then of course that would be taken into account, but people are able to change their routes for sure.
Well, that's excellent. So very, very low financial risk to be booking right now. So if you're even thinking about booking, get a booking on the books, and knowing that your deposit is refundable within that 60-day time frame. So that's fantastic. And then even outside that, maybe you don't get it back, but it certainly can be used to change your date. So that's great. You can't really ask for much more than that. There's no issues there. Now, I wanted to also just ask you about some of the protocols that Rocky Mountaineers has undertaken due to COVID. I know, your hotel partners and whatnot, you're obviously selecting your hotel partners carefully. And I know there's been a lot of talk about what hotels are doing as far as protocols but how has the experience on the rail been enhanced as far as the protocols go?
That's a really important aspect of our business, and now more than ever, health and safety is at the forefront of every organization, even if they're not in travel. And Rocky Mountaineer, being a rail operator in Canada, health and safety for guests and employees has always been the forefront of our organization. We've always done whatever we could to not only meet government guidelines, but exceed them. And 2021 is no different than in terms of our approach. So we have enhanced flexibility, which is available through our website. And I won't go into full details on everything that we're doing, but I'm going to touch on quite a bit of what people can expect being different from previous years. So now what we're looking at doing is having a quick and seamless check-in process. Guests will be required to check in online prior. Now, if people are unable to check in online prior, once they arrive at their destination hotel, in the lobby, there'll be a Rocky Mountaineer host. They'll be able to check them in online prior to boarding the coach to arrive at the train station. There's pre-travel screening questions. So we'll be asking questions related to health as well as recent travels. And we're also looking at the possibility of doing temperature checks just to make sure that guests are healthy and able to travel. For transportation and boarding, we are actually looking at having a seamless boarding process. So in previous years, we've had guests congregate in our train station, and then we'd sound off the whistle. People will board the train and we'll begin our journey. It doesn't seem like a very safe thing to do given the circumstances right now. So what we're having guests do is actually boarding the train directly from their motor coach. We're also looking at having the travelers travel with the same group. So everybody that's in the same car will be traveling in the same motor coach just to alleviate any possibilities for cross-contamination wherever possible. As long as government guidelines are in place and require it, we're also looking at the possibility of having social distancing on board the train. So capacities could be up to half of what they normally would be, just to allow the proper personal space on board the train. We've updated our air filtration system to be in line with Health Canada's guidelines and the Government of Canada's guidelines. And we're also using personal use items for hygiene as well as menus and condiments, where in previous years we've had communal use items. We are also doing a electrostatic disinfectant spray overnight. So when guests will arrive at Kamloops or Whistler or Quesnel, depending on which route they're taking, as well as Glenwood Springs on our US route. Overnight, the crew, on top of the sanitization that they're going to be doing, we're going to be using the electrostatic disinfectant spray, similar to what the airlines use to sanitize. We've also expanded our sanitary crew. So in previous years, we've had a small crew that would go from car to car and just clean up the bathrooms and communal use areas. This year, what we're looking at doing is actually expanding that team quite a bit and having them stay in 1 to 2 cars. So avoiding as much cross-contamination as possible. Again, we expect our partners and hotel partners to be in line with our safety guidelines. And that's something that we're constantly at the forefront of, along with being on the board and being in line with Health Canada's guidelines.
Thank you. That's so there's lots going on that front, which is fantastic. I'm sure that's what people want to hear. And I was interested to hear that due to government regulations, if possible, capacity restrictions on the trains. So again, another reason to book early, because there may be limited capacity, a forced limited capacity, as opposed to just the volume of bookings coming along. So that's good. That's good information to have. Thank you very much. Now that we've got everybody all excited about Rocky Mountaineer and how safe the safety protocols and new products and whatnot, we have some incentives to book early and whatnot. So perhaps you can touch on that a little bit.
Yes, this is really, really exciting. So we have the first time ever a regional Canadian promotion. And this is only for Canadian residents, and it is special pricing, giving you a savings on our packages that nobody else is able to take advantage of. So on our classic rail packages, guests are able to save up to $500 off per person, so $1,000 off per couple. And all of the packages, guests are saving $700 off per person, so about $1,400 per couple. It's available on all our packages. There's no blackout dates or date restrictions. As long as there's availability on a date, then you're able to take advantage of that promotion. Again, it's for Canadians only. We want to entice Canadians in order to travel. And it does expire by February 26th. So if you are interested in being able to take the Rocky Mountaineer, see Western Canada, some people always, or a lot of people actually always say that the Rocky Mountaineer is a bucket list item and something to dream for, but it's something that's not always been achievable for them. Hopefully with this promotion, it makes the Rocky Mountaineer come within reach for a broad number of Canadians, just to be able to see the gorgeous scenery and landscapes and the rich history that Canada has. On top of the Canadian resident offer, we do have our mountain bound promotion. Now, the two promotions are not combinable, but you can choose which promotion is a better fit for you. So the mountain bound promotion currently is a hotel night, a transfer, and a dinner included. Now, being a Virtuoso partner, you do get an additional transfer. So you'll get round trip transfers with booking through your Blows and Stewart travel agent.
That's great. So some great benefits for Canadians to book and see their own country, which is fantastic. So that's great. And because I know, you know, like for a lot of people, as you said, it is a bucket list journey for sure. And you know, the savings up to $1,400 a couple is very significant. That almost pays for your airfare, which is great. So that's excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ali. If there's anything else you wanted to share that you think is important, I think we've covered a great deal. But I encourage anybody that's watching here to give our advisors a call or send them an email, and we'll certainly get to work on that. You don't want to miss that February 26th date for sure. And I wouldn't recommend you wait till February 26th either. So that gives us a couple months to get things worked out and get you booked on your dream Rocky Mountaineer vacation.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me, Rob. I think that's pretty much it. And yes, please do not wait until the February 26th deadline, because as we've seen in the past, there's generally a large push at the end of any promotion, and we just don't want people to kind of miss out on that one. So take advantage while you can, because this is something that Rocky Mountaineer has never done before, and we're really, really excited to be able to hopefully make the Rocky Mountaineer accessible to as many Canadians as possible.
Well, absolutely. That's great. I encourage anyone to go to the RockyMountaineer.com website too. They have a fantastic website with incredible information, incredible images to give you the real picture of what it looks like, the difference between gold leaf, a silver. It's all on there. And then of course your Blow Stewart travel advisor certainly has a lot of knowledge as well, and we're able to help you and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much, Ali. Have a great day.
Thanks, Rob. You too.
Thanks.